Hi guys, it's Chris from Defy the Ocean. I'm back with another reaction video, and today, well, this comes after my last Blind Guardian reaction video because I reacted to their new single that they performed at Wacken, and I asked, my favourite songs from theirs were, or albums I should say, or album was Imaginations from the Other Side, and then I've forgotten what came after. Was it Nightfall? Was Nightfall the single? Can't quite remember, but just to show you exactly how old I am, and you can see the greys in my beard here. I'm old enough to have enjoyed, as a young adult, the stuff that they released in the early 2000s, late 90s. So I was really after something that kind of brought me back and to that era and was of that quality. And from what I understood, there was kind of maybe a lapse in quality from Blind Guardian in the 2000s, but something that may have been restored in 2010's Wheel of Time. So I'm going to go with Wheel of Time. That's what we're going to listen to today. And I've got the lyric video up here as well, so we can just immerse ourselves in the magic, in the glory, in the fantasy that is Blind Guardian. Also, as big fans of Tolkien, these guys obviously they wrote and like their lyricism is based a lot on Tolkien. I am deep in the middle of not an annual, but I would say a semi-annual or biannual watch of the Lord of the Rings movies, extended editions, of course. So I'm just feeling really in the mood. I'm in the mood for this. Like last night I watched the first Hobbit movie, the extended version in glorious 4K, which has just been released. And I'm looking at this dragon here, and I'm just thinking, yes, bring it on. Give me a dragon. That's what I want. So without further ado, At the Edge of Time by Wheel of Time, Blind Guardian, from the album At the Edge of Time, I believe. Right. Let's go. Let's see what let's see what we've got here, man. I think it's going to be, I hope it's joyful. I hope it's joyful. 9-minute track. Can't wait. Loving it already. Oh, this is ringing a bell. I may have heard this before. This is brilliant. How good is this? Oh, this is so good. I know this song. Oh well, this will be my first non-blind reaction. Apologies. But it's probably been 10 years since I heard this. Oh man, orchestration just works so well with their sound. I think it's very interesting because when you're doing something like this that basically is an orchestra and a full band at the same time, you have a real decision to make. It's in terms of production, it's like, where do I put the emphasis? Do I put it more on the orchestra? Do I put it more on the guitars? Do I change it up section to section? There's something very hard about not just making that decision, but it's almost impossible to get everything in, to get the full orchestra feeling and to get the power of the guitars in at the same time. There's decisions you have to make. You only have a certain audible spectrum, right? And you have to make decisions within that audible spectrum. You can't have a supremely heavy crushing guitar and have an amazingly rich brass section on top. It's just, you're gonna have to drown one out. You're gonna have to make a decision. Otherwise, one's gonna drown the other out. It's not gonna sound good. But I like the orchestra forward approach of this song so far. But I have a feeling that it may change, if my memory serves me correctly, that it may change throughout the track. So let's carry on. So you can hear a bit of the guitars. You can hear some of the crunch of the guitars. But it's really orchestra forward. They've really leaned into it. I really like that about this. Jesus, his voice, man. His voice is so unique. So unique. I mean, it was the thing that I remember hearing, you know, when I was like 16 or 17 on Imaginations from the Other Side. The track as well as the album. And I was just blown away by what this guy could do with his voice, you know, just the power and intensity. And just that against the orchestra, it just works so well. And you know, there's another thing to be said here, because there are going to be people who don't like this, not because it lacks any kind of musicality, but perhaps because they feel that it lacks musical integrity. And it's just a bit of a joke because there's dragons and stuff on the front, and they're singing about fantasy and all that stuff. And there are going to be plenty of people out there who judge this band based on those elements. And I think it's worth talking about that, because one of the things, there is music you can take seriously, and there is other music that you accept or should be able to accept is a thing unto itself, right? And Blind Guardian gives me something that other bands don't in that regard. They give me a sense of surprise, a sense of joy, a sense of fun, honestly. Almost because they're talking about subjects that are based on fiction and based on fantasy. There is a different vibe, a different tonality. If you're writing and recording music about more earthly matters, let's just say that, more intensely current emotions or happenings around the world, right? There's a seriousness to that you can avoid in the detachment that you can achieve in writing about something in a fantasy realm, even though the emotions within that fantasy realm can be very real. You know, Amon Amarth do a lot of stuff, you know, about battle and the way that you feel in battle and some of the emotions that go through you during battle, and you know, all that kind of stuff. Very not a lot of people run into battles nowadays with a broadsword and a shield, but there is a sense of connection there. You can imagine what that might have been like, and that's the connection here. There is a way to kind of put yourself in this fantasy world and be at the same time detached enough to enjoy it and just be unaffected by it, and not have to judge it in the way that you might some other more kind of music that talks about things that are very real and can be quite depressing, right? And that's where I get the joy out of this. And dragons. Dragons and zombie Vikings. And a pyramid. I'm a big freaking hypocrite, I have to say, because one of the things that I talk about here is how I don't like guitar solos. How, for the most part, I find guitar solos redundant. They don't really add anything to the song. But in this genre, in what this song and what these guys are going for, it is about the excess. It is about just laying everything on. It is about having a full orchestra and a full band and throwing fucking great guitar solos in at the same time. That's what it's about. And, you know, they wear that with pride. So good on them. I'm loving the guitar solos. I think it's great in this context. It's when you've got a modern metal track that's, you know, 3.5 minutes. It's talking about a serious subject. It's brutally heavy one moment, and then they go into this, you know, melodic solo that just feels really out of place. That's where I'm just like, wow, okay, this guitar solo is just a kind of vestige of the genre, or of the heavy metal genre, and there's absolutely no reason for it to be in this song at this time. Whereas here, it makes sense. We're talking about excess, we're talking about fables, we're talking about myths, we're talking about stories, fantasy. You know, throw some freaking solos in. I'm up for it. And the solos here are actually very tight, thematic, great motifs. I mean, Blind Guardian are just kings of melody. Nice melody. Nice. Love the Middle Eastern vibe here as well. Really tasty. It's just so excessive. It's so indulgent. People who don't like this just take themselves too seriously, I think. This should just be a litmus test to see whether or not someone takes themselves too seriously, is to listen to Blind Guardian Wheel of Time and see what they think after. If they come out with a big smile on their face, shake them by the hand, you'd be like, oh, you're alright, you're alright. Love this build up. Beautiful. Bring in those horns. This. What a build up! What a build up! those drums. Still. Nice payoff. The majesty of those horns, hilarious and brilliant. There's no beginning of the wheel of time. What a voice on this guy, man. I need a breath after that. I need a drink after that. That is just so intense. There is so much going on. That is such a packed 9 minutes. And I remember it now from when I first heard it. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's unarguably just great. And I think I probably sent it to a few friends and they were like, what? No, mate, you're wrong. It's great. It's just so rich and indulgent, and his voice is just so great. There's just literally nothing to dislike. They're throwing in ethnic vibes. It's just, they're talking about dragons and time, and I'm blown away. It's just so good. I need to add that one to my favorites, and just anytime I'm just in a bad mood, I need to put that on and just get an injection of joy, an injection of majesty and glory, you know? It's the kind of thing that, you know, like, you can pump your chest to and just pump your fist and beat your chest to, you know? That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from that. And yeah, I might just listen to it again right now. Oh, I hope you enjoyed my reaction. I didn't expect to enjoy this so much because I forgot that I'd actually listened to it. So I'm very happy. And if you enjoyed my reaction, please subscribe. Please join the Discord if you're interested in finding out about new music. And we've got a Discord group of about 80 people now. So it's growing day by day. And it's a great place to get alerted for when I do my live streams. So every Friday... not for the rest of the year, but as of January, we're going to be returning to the New Music Friday streams where we review and rank all the new tunes for that week on a live stream, and we chat about it. So join the Discord and you'll hear all about it there. And yeah, that's it from me for today. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will catch you very soon. Take it easy.